Well, hey, while you're at home, I thought I'd share with you some of my favorite games to play from home and quickly how to play them. All right, let me teach you guys one of my favorite games. It's called Spot It because it is so simple to play. It comes in cans. There are multiple different cans, but inside of this are a bunch of different cards. Now, every card has one item that matches something on every other card. So the way I like to play is I will deal everybody a card. I will put this one in the middle and say 3, 2, 1, go. Everyone flips their cards over, and the first one to be able to call out something that matches. For instance, on this one, it would be okay. They grab that card, put it on top, and the game keeps going until this stack is done. Once the stack is done, you count up whoever has the most amount of cards, and then when the game is over, whoever has the most amount of cards, that player wins. All right, the next game I want to show you is called Blink. Blink is a great game, very similar, so I figured I'd explain it to you next. What you're going to do is you're going to deal out to 2 players. This is a 2-player game, and the way you can involve more people is to do brackets or do head-to-head competitions for the winner versus winner, loser versus loser. So these are all dealt out. You're going to grab these. Each player, that's going to be dealt like this. The player's going to grab their top card, and they're going to go 3, 2, 1 to start the game and flip it. Now, in your pile here, you can hold 3 cards at one time. And the way this game goes, you're trying to get rid of this entire stack of cards. And it goes very quickly. That's why the game is called Blink. What you're looking to do is match either number, color, or shape. So you could go here, you could go here, you could go here. Or, let's see if we keep going. So you could go star, you could go 1, you could go 5, you could go 5, you can go brown, you can go red. And as you can see, the game moves very, very quickly. The first one to get rid of their entire stack wins. Woo! All right, the next one I want to show you is Uno. Now, everybody knows how to play Uno, but I want to show you a variation of the game of Uno that you will enjoy. So when you play, you deal like normal, you start a normal Uno game, but what makes this game spicy is when certain numbers are played, the rules change a little bit. So when a 0 is played, you have to swap your deck with somebody of your choosing. So if you have 50 cards and you switch it with somebody who has 1 card, you now have Uno. If you play a 4, everybody playing has to be silent. If anybody speaks, they have to draw a card and add it to their hand. If you have a 6, if you play a 6, everybody has to slap. The last person to slap the pile draws another card. If you do an 8, everybody has to slap their forehead. The last person to slap their forehead then loses, has to pick up another card. Another great thing is pluses stack. So if you have a +2, you can go +2, +2, +2, +2, +2, and to whoever it lands up on could end up with a +12. Now you can't plus a 2 and a 4, but you can stack 4s. Another reason that this game is spicy is there are cards in this deck that are exact matches. If a 3 gets played, and even if it's not your turn, you have an identical matching 3 and color, you can play that too and skip all of the people, and now the person next to you gets to go. So that is a fun way, but there's also one more thing which is really what makes this game spicy. So say in your hand you are missing a green card or a 3, you can ask for help. So if you ask for help, anybody around can offer to give you help. They put a card out face down, and you choose which one to take. Now, here's why it's spicy. They can give you any card. You could grab this card and flip it over, and then it could be a red 7, and you have to put it, and then you still have to ask for help. Or you can draw from the pile until you get the card that you need to play. But you asking for help makes the game kind of fun, and also you have to look out because people get really tricky, and that's why this game is called Spicy Uno. All right, another card game, which I have this 3D printed container for, is called Monopoly Deal. Now, a lot of people think of Monopoly and they go, I don't have 7 hours to play a game, and start hating everybody that I play with. Monopoly Deal is a very quick-paced game, and it does take a little bit of learning, so I can't really explain to you all the instructions, but the basic layout of the game is you have a draw pile. You can have up to 7 cards in your hand at any time. So you have your draw pile, 7 cards in your hand. You start with 5. The beginning of a turn is draw 2 and make 3 moves. So a move could be, for instance, if you have a money card, you can place it in your bank. Every card has a dollar value that's up here at the top in millions. So 3 moves could be 3 cards in your bank. Now, the way that you win this game is by building property sets and having 3 complete sets. So properties are matched up by color, not by not by the names on them. Now, here's how you know what you need for a set is on here. There's a certain number of cards. This one needs 2 cards, 3, 2. Some of them need 4. So if you have something like a wild card, that is now a complete set. And you're just going to keep playing them until you have completed 3 sets. Whoever completes 3 sets wins the game. So there's 2 complete sets, and now 3 complete sets. I win. Now there are other cards like action cards you could draw, like this one is Deal Breaker, which is steal a complete set from somebody else. There are things like charge rent and stuff like that. Here's one of the keys to the game though. If you are out of money, if your bank is depleted and is gone, you have to pay with the property on the table. So if somebody is out of bank, this is kind of one of those games where you pick on that person because you want to take all of their properties. This is a really fun game. It will take you 1 or 2 times to play it and understand it, but once you do, this is a game that you can play for 2 people, 5 people, 8 people. We even have some where we buy 2 decks of these and then combine them, and then you can play giant games. It's a really, really fun, fast-paced Monopoly style of game. All right, the last one I'm going to show you, I'm going to go a little bit board game on this one. This game is called Codename. Codenames is a really fun game because you play in teams, and teams can really be any size. What's going to happen is you have a field, and there are different sets of cards for this game. So really quickly, the basic gameplay is there are somebody who's like the secret keeper or the code keeper on either team. They get to see this card. Nobody else playing does. And this reveals the map. If you're on the red team or the blue team, it shows you which ones you need to guess. So you're going to lay these cards out in this nice little format here, which this one is a 5x5. So if this gets laid out in a 5x5, you understand where I'm going with this. What's going to happen is the person who is the code giver is going to be able to give 1 word. And the way it works is if I'm giving a code, I want to look at all of these and look at my card and go, okay, if this is the bottom, then if I'm on the red team, then these 2 cards here are red, these 2 cards here are mine, this one is mine, and this whole line of them. So I'm trying to come up with a single word that give you a clue in order to guess the red ones. Now, you don't want to give a clue that lets them guess the blue ones, and especially not this black one. This black card here would be an instant game over. So an example for something like the one piano, you can say strings. So strings might work for piano because I might look at all these and go, wow, nothing else here has strings, so it's got to be piano. Now the key to win this game would be to give a clue where you would say 2 strings, and then 2 would indicate that there are 2 cards that this word is for, and that could be anything, like maybe spine has strings in it because of your spinal cord and piano. You don't really know. That's just the way this game works, is you got to figure it out and come up with a code. The first team to get rid of all of their color to cover them all up, and when you get it correct, you have these little tiles and you place these tiles on top of it as a marker. Now it's fun because you can mix up the teams, you can shuffle things up, these cards can get flipped over. There's a ton of different ones and a lot of different strategy. There's also different versions of the game that work on pictures and then different themes. So Codenames is a really fun game that you can play over and over and over with your family. All right, well, those are just some of my favorite games. I have a whole bunch more. I really love to play games, but I'm curious, what are your family's favorite games to play together? I have new games that I just bought. One's called Super Fight from Target. I'll share it with you another time, but if you love to debate and argue with one another in a friendly environment, that game really is a good one. So let me know what your favorite games to play as a family are in the comments below.